So these hardworking Starbucks employees are going on strike because they don't want to follow the new dress code. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Starbucks employees going on strike over the new dress code. Now, this is really crazy. First of all, it's Starbucks. Shout out to all the baristas out there. Hey, you guys are fantastic at what you do, but is it that hard to do that job? That's like me working at McDonald's flipping burgers. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go on strike. Okay, we can't put nobody else in the kitchen to flip the burger. I don't know. Maybe a barista is a little bit more skilled, but I don't really think so. That's the first thing. The second thing is, what's the problem? All they're saying is basically you got to wear like a black shirt and like something that looks more uniform at work. Because some of y'all, look, I don't know if you're working at Starbucks or if you just happen to be a regular bum in there with a green apron on. I have no idea. There should be some kind of uniformity. When I was working at a restaurant, I had on a uniform. It was their company shirt with black pants and the black non-slips. I mean, I'm not trying to make a fashion statement. I'm trying to go work, get my money, and then go live my life. So I don't really even understand this concept, but I guess different generations are different. But before I go any further, let's play a couple of clips. The first one is going to be an interview with one of the strikers. Okay, we're going to hear from this fine individual, and then we're going to get into a news clip. Of course, I will link to this clip and the other one in the box. If you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Dash Haldeman. I've been a barista at the Lincoln Highway Starbucks here for a little over 3 years. We're out on strike today because Starbucks is trying to implement a new dress code. No one ever asked for a new dress code. They updated a dress code recently and it made it looser where we could wear colors and patterns. And now they're deciding that we can only wear black. It's very restrictive. Most of us had to buy new clothes and we can't afford it. We barely make enough money to pay our bills. And also on top of that, they keep trying to make all these changes in union stores and it's illegal. They're not allowed to make these changes without bargaining with us and voting on this. So it's just incredibly alarming and upsetting that Starbucks is continuing to do illegal things to our union stores. And so we're out here making sure that they know that we're still here and then we're fighting for that contract.
All righty, so there we go. Hey, you know what? They're telling us we got to change the way we dress and we can't afford it. We don't make any money. But it's like, are they asking you to go out to the Louis Vuitton store and buy that? They're saying, hey, a black shirt, that's not going to be very expensive. Straight to Walla World, Target, for next to no money, you can have a whole wardrobe full of your work clothes. Now, let's get into the news clip here. This is going to be on NBC News. Check it out.
No contract, no coffee.
Tonight, outrage brewing at nearly 75 Starbucks across the country. Baristas are walking out.
We are currently on an unfair labor practice strike and have walked out here today because of the newly implemented dress code that is now being enforced upon our stores illegally.
Monday marked the start of new rules on what baristas are allowed to wear under those famous green aprons.
They're probably getting fed talking points. Maybe they got some kind of union going on because the first young lady said something about the whole illegally, it's illegal. This is something that they're being told to do.
Company requiring workers to wear plain black T-shirts and khaki, black, or blue denim bottoms.
I think that's perfectly fine. Like right here, okay, these look like employees, like they're actually there to work. Okay, it makes sense to me. It's uniformity. It looks nice, clean. I'm with it, 100%.
Denim bottoms. Under the old dress code, workers were allowed to wear other dark colors and shirts with a pattern.
Have you ever tried this one?
Starbucks Workers United, the union representing workers at 570 of Starbucks' 10,000 company-owned U.S. stores, says the dress code should be subject to collective bargaining.
It's not just our right, but our duty to rebel.
They filed a
But you know what? I mean, this kind of thing happening with Starbucks is of no surprise because that's the kind of culture that they've been able to, they've created that company culture. The woke people, woke youngsters, they flock to Starbucks. So, of course, when they do something like this is going to be a retaliation.
Complaint with the National Labor Relations Board over the company's alleged failure to bargain.
Finding out last minute that you need to go out and purchase a brand new dress code that you can't afford It's completely out of touch.
I mean, what they have to actually buy? I mean, did they not give you the t-shirts? Like y'all went and made these t-shirts, Starbucks Workers United. Y'all went ahead and made those t-shirts and paid for that. But when they're telling you to buy a Starbucks shirt, you're probably giving a Starbucks t-shirt. And if you're not giving a Starbucks t-shirt, go to Walmart, get a pack of 5 t-shirts for what, $10 to $15? You're not going there to be fashionable, be pretty. You're going there to work. Now, you can have some type of individuality. You got your hair and all of that. They ain't saying nothing about that. They're talking about what you actually wear. Because I can't identify a regular crack smoker on the streets of, let's say, Los Angeles. I can't identify that person or a Starbucks employee. So when I go in the store, I don't know what's going on. That's just my point of view. Maybe there's different reasons why they want to have a more standard dress code, but that'd be my reason. But I digress.
Most of us are paycheck to paycheck. We can't afford to go out and buy new shoes, new pants, and new shirts. We need a livable wage. Talks were going great.
There we go. Livable wage. What does that mean? To anyone who says that they agree with the young lady and say we need a livable wage, how much does a livable wage pay? That's what I want to know. And if it's a per hour, then how many hours are you required to get? You see what I'm saying?
Great. And
I didn't even see that sign. Hold on. You see that right there? Yeah. So I guess it's about a few other things. LGBTQ, elemental P. We want more money, which again, you've cultivated this kind of culture over at Starbucks, the woke youngsters. So you're going to get the complaints, the cries, and the grievances of woke youngsters.
going great. And now they're not. And Starbucks just continues to make changes that have nothing to do with our working conditions.
In a statement to NBC News, Starbucks said, quote, it would be more productive if the union would put the same effort into coming back to the table that they're putting into protesting wearing black shirts to work.
I love it. That was really good. That was really good. That right there, maybe it's a generational thing because obviously the bosses, the managers, the big dogs up top, they're going to be an older generation and the employees are going to be younger. But again, Starbucks, it's your fault. You've created this kind of environment. You've cultivated this corporate culture. So now you got to deal with it.
To work. The company also said the strike is having a limited impact on their stores, saying 99% of the stores have been open all week.
And Adrian Broaddus joins us now with more. So, Adrian, things have been contentious between the union and Starbucks for quite some time now. Where do negotiations currently stand?
They certainly have, Ellison. Starbucks rep says in the last year, specifically since April, they've had about 9 bargaining sessions over 20 days. That rep also telling NBC News they've reached at least 30 meaningful agreements that union reps said were important. Now, Starbucks says it remains committed to bargaining in good faith. And I'm paraphrasing here. They say they hope to, quote, reach a framework for single store contracts. By contrast, the union rep who you heard from in the story says the union is still waiting for Starbucks to return to the bargaining table.
All right, so there we go. We got some union members squabbling at Starbucks. I don't even see how that's even really a thing. Like, who cares? And then they said that it's only like 99.9% of stores operating as normal. So who are these people? It's weird. But again, this is the culture. Okay. You probably get a lot of that on the left coast. Okay. California, like your Los Angeles, San Francisco Bay Area, your Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon. You're probably getting quite a bit of that activity over there from these kind of people because it's really a nothing burger. Listen, as I close, I want to say this. Back when I was young like them and I was working out these different jobs, I worked at Sam's Club, Old Country Buffet. I worked at another place called At Home. It's like a Lowe's, Home Depot, Garden Ridge type of place. Big heavy items you got to lug around. I didn't care about my work uniform at all. I didn't care. Like, my whole thing was, okay, am I wearing the right thing to be able to come work and get this money? When I'm in the kitchen working and it's a slippery surface, I know I need to have the non-slip shoes. So I'm asking around and they give you the catalog to say, okay, you can buy these shoes, those shoes. That's all I was worried about was getting my shoes. And then I would get a pair of Dickies, black pants, and then my work shirt. That's it. I'm here to work, get my money, and go about my business. I'm not trying to be pretty. I'm not trying to be Mr. Fashion at work. That doesn't matter at all. I'm not like that anyway, but I'm most certainly not that way at work. And I don't think anybody really should be, especially not at a Starbucks. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about the Starbucks employees going on strike over the dress code? Should they find something else better to do with their life? Should they keep the fight going and really gain the right back to wear whatever they want at work? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is a ridiculous thing to strike over. And again, I'm not saying that there are no skilled Starbucks baristas, but we're not talking about any kind of really labor intensive job. And I've observed y'all making the drinks. You pushing buttons. Okay, this ain't nobody's home with some kind of handcrafted coffee. You're not picking the beans in your back garden and then you just pushing buttons for the most part. I mean, I was doing that Old Country Buffet, going to the fountain drink machine. Okay, what you want? You want Sprite and Coke? Psh, there you go. Take that. Put a little ice in it. That's pretty much what I see. Maybe I'm wrong, but the whole point is your job that difficult to where you cannot be replaced? I don't think so. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.